in the early 50s, it was the era of the witch hunt for gay men by the police in Melbourne. And I went to a party at Max de Barry's house. Max de Barry was a famous female impersonator in Melbourne. In fact, there were no drag queens in my day. They were all female impersonators. They worked as prostitutes or in the gay club or in the illegal gambling clubs. But the police arrived at 2 in the morning. There was the usual push there, some well-known criminals and their girlfriends and a few prostitutes and a few gay men and blah, blah. And I was the youngest person there, and the police questioned me, and I put my age up. I didn't want to go to a reform school. And I was taken down to South Melbourne Police Station, where I was coerced into signing a confession that I'd had sex with Max. Now, the thing was, the police really, they lied to me. They told me that if I signed a confession, I could go home. So the detective wrote most of the confession, and I signed it, and I wasn't allowed to go home, of course. We were found guilty, of course, of the abominable crime of buggery, for which the death penalty was on the statutes. And Max was sentenced to I was sent back to prison to await sentencing. Came the day of sentencing. Well, while I was in jail, I learned the hard way from some prison guards that young homosexual offenders like me had to pay their dues in a not very pleasant way. And came the day of sentencing. Unfortunately, when the detectives had gone to my house to discuss my mother, the good behaviour bond, she was drunk. They said that I didn't have a fit house to live in. My sister stood up in court and said she would be responsible for me, and I got a 2-year behaviour bond.
What kind of impact has it had on your life?
Well, in the early days, it had a big impact because I was vilified by every newspaper in Melbourne. I couldn't have resume any dancing classes or singing lessons. My friends couldn't talk to me in the street, otherwise they would be charged with consorting with a criminal.